Welcome to the chapter of Healing Aspirations entitled When Bad is Good. Now are you saying to yourself, what? Yes, when bad is good. You're not going to make a move on yourself unless things are going bad. If bad doesn't pay off for you, you're going to stay stuck. And so when God speaks about this matter with us, and this is verse number 471 of the Foot Ladder of Notes Divine, that's God's conversations with me, which has been going on for over 13 years, he addresses this matter of taking a look at how we carry on. Now, why does he do this? In order to be able to show you that you got some options, and whether or not your being in this negative side of you is paying off. So bad can be good if it makes you make a move towards what can be helpful and healing with you when bad is good. Well, in this verse number 471, God uses certain descriptive words about ourselves in order to point out what it's like when we ain't not on our good behavior. He states the word raucous, raucous, noise, 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 raucous, loudness. He states, when your life has gone asunder, when you're messed up, raucous is your path. Well, one look at it, is God saying something that's true about you? Are you calm, quiet? Da da la ba ba bee boo boo dee dee dee. Is that you? Ba 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 dee doo ba boo bing doo dee ba boo too. Or is that you? Are you quiet? Do you get a second breath? Do you get upset easily? When you feel under stress, does it explode you or drive you in that you don't know what to do and depresses you? Raucous. Are you raucous? God is asking that of you because it's a sign that things ain't good. And if you can recognize it, it's good that you find out when you move away from the center of you that it's not good, that it's exhausting, it's sickening. And God throws up the first word. Raucous be thy path in lives asunder, away from the call of me. If you're not paying attention to me, raucous, your life becomes raucous. Check it out. Got a little book there to make a note? Raucous. Put yes or no. Next one that he speaks of. You witness not to love's face. You witness not. You're not a representative of love in times of need and atrocious gall. Do you have a life? Are you leading a life in which, when you're under stress, you turn to God and you ask, how can I handle this the way you would handle it? So that you would be a witness to God's face. If you recognize you're not witnessing to God's face, you're in a good place. That has to be in order for you to seek help. That's not a weak place, that's a strong place. A weak place is you don't recognize anything and you just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. That's a weak place. A strong place is that you have been enabled to stop and look at yourself and see my life is raucous and I don't sense love. I'm not handling things from love in times of need. Either I get depressed or I attack other people in it, or I act from atrocious gall. What nerve! Atrocious gall. Critical, maybe, of other people. Gall. Are you doing that? If you recognize it, that's when bad is good. He goes further. He says, mellowed not be thy mood. You're not mellow. You're not mellow. And he describes when you're not mellow, what are you like? And he says, you're slinking, S-L-I-N-K-I-N-G. You're slinking in corridors of shame and ill repute. That you're either down on yourself or you're doing something with others which is of ill repute. Instead of having a mellow mood, you're slinking in corridors of shame, guilt feelings about what you are and what you're doing, and ill repute, things that you should not be doing. Do you recognize it when bad is good? God goes further. Dwindling days of joy being gone. You joyful? You happy? Do you wake up in the morning just wanting to give yourself away out of love and care to those who are unaware of it? Is there a joy from giving yourself? If there is not, the absence of joy is good stuff when bad is good. Are you feeling hopeless in a world where the tasks get performed by you in just any possible way you can get done with it? You're not involved. You're very perfunctory of it instead of a devotion, that you're not committed. Have you got it spotted? That maybe you're not happy with your job, family, yourself, others, impatient, don't want to give yourself away. You got it spotted? When bad is good. These things need to be spotted or you won't work on them. You won't be able to work on them without the recognition of it. Or are you ruled by greediness and salaciousness? Salaciousness, extreme sexuality, uncaring kind of a thing. Are you ruled by greed and salacious thoughts? If you're recognizing it, good stuff. You're on the road to healing. You're making your move. Good stuff coming from bad. Well, how'd you do with the little questionnaire? Can you see what it's like when we're in our human mind? In the footletter of Notes Divine, God says there's a savage basis, a savage nature to the human mind. And the only way we get rid of it is recovering the divine self that we are, which enables us to put aside the human mind because it doesn't have any value anymore. The treasure of your divine self, your godly self, of living from it in this world and helping others to live from it and be healed, to act in concert with each other, to bring people back to the kingdom. That's the great, great treasure. And the human mind can't give it. The human mind is raucous. The human mind does not know love's face. The human mind is not mellowed. The human mind is in corridors of shame and ill repute. Joy is gone. You're perfunctory. You're not caring. You just do things automatically. So what? As long as I do it, just pay me. All of these things, if you got them spotted, you're doing fine because you're ready to get help. Well, let's see what God says if you've got this kind of thing going. He states, cast out thy homing nets. Cast out thy homing nets, which means that you're looking for the presence of God. You're looking for home. You're looking for God's help. You just want things to be different. You might not know how, or maybe you've gotten that far that you do know what you want. You see the characteristics, but you need support to be able to share it. It's all fine. Cast out thy homing nets to find God, support group, whatever it might be, in order to be able to utilize the bad becoming the indication that we're looking for the good. Cast out thy homing nets. And he says, don't expect big things all of a sudden to happen. Boom. And in comes the big announcement. He states, whispered, whispered be the voice of heaven sent. It's whispers, it's quietness. And the fact that you can hear that quiet voice means you got quiet, that you could hear the quiet. God doesn't over yell you. Hey! God doesn't do that kind of a thing. He lets you be loud. He has to wait for you to feel this is no good. I don't know what the answers are, but it's no good. You did it. The bad got turned into the possibility of a good result. Whispered be the voice of heaven sent, that quiets minds adrift. That quiets minds adrift, floating around in all of these lost spaces in this human existence. Because you realized I need help, you set yourself up for the quiet mind to be able to come to you. And God wants to deliver that to you. And this is where you're going to need support group, being able to join with others who are seeking the same kind of support. Support's very important. I was a psychologist. I needed my support groups. We all need that. There's nothing wrong with it. And to ask God how to find a support group. Oh yes, if you don't know how. Or maybe you already got a hint that you're being nudged by God to go a certain direction. Or you can call us. If we can be helpful, if God makes us helpful for you, it can be done that way. He goes further. Realized be your sense of shame, admonished by God. God will help you to realize that your sense of shame is actually a sense of help for you. It's good news. Shame in itself is only good in the sense that there's something wrong, and that it needs facing. But after that, that's enough already, because you're just lost. Stop being ashamed of being lost. It's not to be ashamed that's good. Only to catch it, it's fine. And then God states, turn aside that you might hear the bells tolling the call of return to thy precious love. That's God, the precious love of you. You're being called to that. Do you want it? You're right. And if the world says, oh, come on, get off it. No, the world is wrong. The world is lost. You're right for recognizing this stuff. You're right, you're right, you're right. You're on the track. You're being able to get God's help. And God reassures you finally, who fails thee not. Who fails thee not, this God of love, that who you have turned to, that you've turned aside from everything else looking for, who fails thee not in ways meant for joy and contentment, heaven sent. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay, God, what do I do next? You're in the right place. What do I do next? Yeah. Just do me, tell me, help me, whatever. I want it, God. All these are marvelous statements by yourself. You're moving right. You're doing right. And if you want to call us, you want to be in touch with us, if we're supposed to help you out in some way, feel free. ChristianLaityFoundation.org. Phone numbers there. The email addresses are there. You name it. We'll be glad If God sends you to call us, we'll be glad, because God's going to use us to help you in whatever it is you're trying to find out for yourself. Hope this helps. Take care. Bye-bye for now.